Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I want to talk about Alex Garland's A24 Civil War. And I appreciate your patience. I've been talking about this all week because I am absolutely fascinated by this film, and I haven't seen it yet. So here I am one last time, talking to you about Alex Garland's A24 Civil War before I've seen it, right? And I appreciate your patience because, you know, I think in the old days, like in the olden times, people would wait until they saw something before you talk about it. Those days are gone, baby. Um, anything that matters today has resonance, right? You talk about it when it's happening, you talk about it after it's happening, and you talk about it before it's happening, or it don't matter, right? And so I'm just talking about the information I've gotten from the trailers, and then I have gotten from multiple spoiler reviews and the clips that A24 has been putting out. So today we're going to talk about one clip, and we're going to talk about what the heck this movie is. Let's jump into this. So first of all, the reason why I will not shut up about this is I am absolutely galled by Alex Garland's absolutely outrageous statement, which I think is based in no truth, that this movie is apolitical. This movie is highly political, highly pro-left, highly anti-right. And I think to pretend that it is anything but that is an outrageous attempt. In my humble opinion, it is the most outrageous attempt to gaslight America that I've ever seen about a film. It's outrageous. It is and I am galled. I'm galled by the supposition anyone who says this movie is apolitical is lying to themselves, and a lot of people do that. I get it. Many people do that, right? Or they're just flat out, and there's reason to lie about this. Right? A24 is dropping a highly political film, right? In an election year, and that can be read as an attempt to literally sway an American election, which is not in any way illegal through a movie, but it is culturally offensive, in my humble opinion. So I just want to talk about the stakes on the ground for this film, and what this has to do with Vivek Ramaswamy. He should be in the middle of this conversation to the hilt. This is an important conversation, and it is valuable for us to have it now. And honestly, I think this movie is going to offend me because he said it was apolitical, which I think is just an assault to any intellectual's relationship to truth. To call a movie about a civil war in the middle of America after January 6th and say it's apolitical, it is the most outrageous insult to anyone's stance as an intellectual. You'd have to be the most base, rank amateur person to believe that in any way. And I will not shut up about this because I'm absolutely galled by Alex Garland's claim that this is apolitical. And you could see it in the trailer and some clips that we're going to discuss. So I appreciate your patience. But Vivek has got to come in and start talking on this, because this is an extremely important thing. So this movie is one of three things. These are not my words. I watched one of my reviews, and I'm sorry, I've watched like 10 reviews at this point. I can't remember which one had this in it. But one of the reviewers said, is this movie a cautionary tale, an instruction manual, or a terrifying, he said prophecy, I'm going to say prediction, a terrifying prediction? Is this a cautionary tale? Is this an instruction manual? Or is this a prediction, a terrifying prediction? Is Alex Garland saying, hey, I think you guys are going to war again, right? Or is he saying, hey, you guys better watch out because you're heading toward a civil war? Or is he saying, and get this, I could get this last part, right? Alex Garland Nothing in the world is more pro-left than a Hollywood liberal, except a European liberal. And that's exactly what Alex Garland is, to the hilt. Like, dyed in the wool European liberal, right? Nothing is more pro-left than a Hollywood liberal, except a European liberal. And that's what it is. So this is like, honestly, it would have been impossible for any Hollywood director to do an apolitical film on this one. It's absolutely impossible for Alex Garland to do it, right? He's a European liberal, right? Like, and when I present some evidence, I think you're going to see it, right? Like, okay, all right. So why would this be an instruction manual? Well, the left is going to get wrecked if there's a civil war, right? They're all they're all pacifists, right? Like, who eat hummus, right? You think a bunch of vegan pacifists are going to do anything but get completely destroyed if there's a civil war? So this would be him saying, hey, look at everything that's happening here. This is how you're going to be attacked, and this is how you need to defend yourself. And you guys need to, find your two and get ready, because there's a civil war coming in America, right? So this could be an instruction manual from Alex Garland to the American left, saying, you guys are hopelessly outmatched, but here, let me show you how you could fight, right? That's interesting. That's it. Again, highly offensive, but completely illegal and completely within his rights, right? Just culturally offensive. It's not a crime, but it's incredibly culturally offensive, right? And I am offended, so let's get into my offense, right? All right, so, and let me give you proof that this is highly political. The idea that this film is apolitical is the most absurd statement. Also, let me present a little bit more evidence on why Alex Garland may have been attempting, in my humble opinion, to gaslight America by saying this was apolitical. He literally, I think when this thing hits, people are going to be talking about this nonstop, right? And I think Republicans are going to be extremely furious, right, about this, because it's going to be very, very disrespectful of them, right? So he actually said that he was going to quit directing, right? So you have a movie coming out, A24's biggest budget film ever. You have a movie coming out and you're telling, hey, everybody, I'm not going to direct again, right? Almost like getting ready for the firestorm that's going to come, virtual firestorm that's going to come from Republicans, right? Because they're going to be furious. The Republicans are going to be furious about this film, I think, right? So let me tell you one clip I watched from A24. So, spoilers here, right? So Kirsten Dunst's character, they roll up in this Ford Excursion, a big, huge SUV, right? They're going cross country. They roll up in this little town into a little gas station, right? And she's like, $300. I want the tank filled up halfway, and I want and I want 2 reserve cans of gas. And he's like, $300? That will buy you a sandwich. You could choose between ham or cheese. 1 sandwich. Then she says, Canadian, 300 Canadian. And he's like, deal. I'll give you everything you asked for. So this guy is saying that the Canadian dollar, Alex Garland is saying that the Canadian dollar, there'll be a point in American future where the Canadian dollar will be 20 to 50 times more valuable than the American dollar. That is ludicrous. Ludicrous. There's no point in anyone's future where the Canadian dollar will be more valuable than the American dollar. That is absurd. Absolutely. America has reserves of weapons, oil, right? Gold. You know what? This is not a joke. You know what Canada has a reserve of? Literally maple syrup. Like they have tanks of it ready, right? Like they are here at our, like, their security is at our expense. The idea, and I knew this film was going to be filled with anti-patriotic, anti-American screed, right? Now, I'm going to be transparent. I'm extremely excited to see this film. Why? Why on earth am I excited to see this film, right? Stephen McKinley Henderson, Jesse Plemons, and it's Hollywood, man. It's a Hollywood film. I know A24 is Hollywood, but close enough for government work, right? And so, so it is fascinating, right? And, and I'm part of the problem in that, like, I really detest the message that Hollywood is constantly pushing down our throats. But I go because every Republican conservative film ever made sucks more than a Hoover, right? Like, Hollywood is abominable when it comes to morality and a lot of other things, but man, do they tell a powerful narrative, right? And I think this is going to be a very entertaining film. It's just going to be extremely offensive to Republicans, and it is going to be massively political. And I'm talking about it because I want to stop gaslighting people. When I see gaslighting happening, I want to say, yo, that is gaslight, like in a Victorian movie with Sherlock Holmes coming around the corner. That is gaslighting, right? Vivek needs to get in here and start speaking truth about this. He's extremely wise, extremely intelligent, and we need his words on this. We need to start commanding the conversation about civil war in America, if there is a real possibility of this. And we need to take this conversation away from Hollywood because they cannot be allowed to have it. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. What's important, when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments, send your traffic. And please have a fetch millennium.